hear it all. I cannot recall the game I played when I was young. Without your little face to put me back into place. I played good, but I can't believe that I won. The weight of my stare I cannot repair as I watch you grab for the light. Let your innocence reign for one last refrain before I kiss your face. Good night.
This is where Bob Dylan played. This is where Skip James played. This is where Reverend Gary Davis played. This is where Pete Seeger came. It's the place. And when you walk into Caffe Lena, you can feel that history. The performers all talk about it. When they sit on that stage, they get that vibe of who's been here before.
Caffe Lena is a landmark acoustic music venue in Saratoga Springs, New York, and it's been in continuous operation since May of 1960. It's world famous because it provided an early stage for many of America's best-loved songwriters.
I feel forever just to land it. My religious devotion, I can't pretend to understand it. Everybody has a notion, but someday you will know who I am. Oh, my little man.
Say you climb the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, and you say that you would do anything, 'cause you're in this thing for keeps. You throw around the love word when you turn on your charm, but if you really love me, ink my name into your arm. This is where it started, and this is the reason it happened. If Caffe Lena didn't exist, I don't think I would be here. You know, of course I wouldn't be here tonight, but I don't think I'd be a performer in the way that I am today.
This is the most simple little room that seats 85 people, and yet there's something that speaks deeply to a story that we all want to have in our world. And Caffe Lena taps into that. It embodies something that people want to believe in and want to have exist.
What I see as kind of one of the greatest missions of Caffe Lena is to be a very legitimate venue for people who have not made it big yet to play in.
Find me a sword, find me a stone, more precious than this breath and bone.
The experience I've had on stage here has been the best experiences I've had playing.
When Bob Dylan played at Caffe Lena, he wasn't even signed to a label. He was unknown, and the audience was so rude that Bill Spence had to ask them to get their thing together and give some respect to this kid who was trying to do his job. So now, Sean Rao, Anais Mitchell, these kind of people coming in here now are going to be the Bob Dylans of the next generation, and that's what really the spirit of the cafe is what's happening now with respect to the history that's gone before.
You know, anytime you have a place with this kind of caliber of the level of musicianship that's been on the stage, you know, you definitely feel a certain amount of reverence for just being able to play up here and you know how valuable that is. And yeah, there's kind of an aura about it, you know. You can kind of feel the presence of people that have been here.
wishing well in my head. I said, I wish you well, but from my tongue I said, there's a ray. Do not go away.
The walls are filled with good vibes from years and years and years. Memories not only of great musicians, but the people the audience, the people who have enjoyed it all these years.
This is a place where people of all different economic circles and ages and political ideas come together and share the tables and share a positive experience and go away at peace with one another.
Everybody's very friendly. The people are always meeting new people at your table. And it's just like being in a living room. It's like having them right there.
Lena approached Caffe Lena as a home. And she brought in musicians and quickly made them a member of her family. She loved to feed them. She loved to offer hospitality to people at her apartment. She would sometimes have people staying with her for weeks at a time. She would take care of their children when they went out on the road. So that is part of the culture of Caffe Lena, that it has never been about making money. It's always been about expanding your family.
Well, there's a silence on the prairie that a man can't help but feel. There's a shadow growing longer now, nipping at my heels. And I know that soon that old four lane that runs beneath my wheels will take me home to my sweet Wyoming home.
It's a part of Saratoga, just as the racetrack is part of Saratoga. I wish the same number of people knew of Lena's that know of the racetrack.
They took my dough, the traveling took my time, and I'm headed home to my sweet Wyoming home. There's a chorus to watch them.
Well, the cafe was where I found the friends that I have now. My whole community is folk people that I met through the cafe.
He's crying song of home, the sweet Wyoming home. I hear y'all not.
Community is a big part, because community is what keeps this place running. So I don't know that you could have this place without community.
I started waiting tables and washing dishes in the kitchen when I was about 13. And I volunteered just about every single weekend, all through high school. I spent a huge amount of my time here, listening to music, making very good friends.
We allow people as young as 13 to become volunteers at Caffe Lena. They come in with never having done something away from their parents before. And they come in and they are given a sponge and an apron and a spoon, and they are allowed to take part side by side as equals with adults. And that is a very important experience for them. They're able to have a certain authority that gives them the confidence to speak to an internationally touring musician or to an adult customer. There's so much history of friendship and creativity and special moments in the room that it radiates that. And so very quickly, it starts to bring out people's humanity. This is where people learn what a peaceful world is like, a world of sharing and simplicity and open-heartedness. And for me, inspiring that in people and sending it out into the world after every weekend show helps to create peace in the world and make the community better.
Watch the moon, smiling in the sky of a tune. A prairie lullaby, a peaceful wind.
having a venue of this prestige and of this community within 30 miles, this became, especially as a kid, as an 11-year-old who was taking advantage of what I realize now was a rare opportunity to be part of the folk process at work, to get even the guys who were in my first band, Earl and Norbert and Tom, were the guys who were in local bluegrass organizations, who were in the Adirondack Fiddlers, who would take this, little nerdy kid aside and teach her firsthand, teach her the tunes, teach her how to play for square dances, tell stories of where they came from and their family dances and Grange halls and lumber camps. And all of that, which is, now I realize it later, is actually the history of this area. Encouraged and taught in a way that was not in a lecture like, come here kid, we're gonna learn you some things, but just to be shown these things, that's how this tradition gets passed down, and that's how it sticks is in an environment like that.
I really credit the cafe with planting the seed for me as far as wanting to write songs, wanting to perform.
It's about the craft here. It's not necessarily about the name, It's about providing a space for quality craft.
All these young bands who are great players and great singers and write great songs, like, the Stray Birds. They came here a few times and they were always great. And then somehow in the last couple of years, they kind of crossed that threshold into like a real world-class band. And it's fun to see those things happen.
If they play another love song, if that Miller High Life light stays dim, if you'll keep my glass full of whiskey, I'll whisper words I wish I'd said to him.
So I think that a place like Caffe Lena is vital to be able to nurture that and promote it and allow the kind of musicians that play music here to grow in their own abilities, talent, and careers.
I think it's a really good way to, especially when you're doing original songs, to put that in front of a group that's really responsive and listening and wanting to be a part of the experience rather than, going to the bar and drinking and spilling all over your amps and all that.
It feels a lot more like an exchange of spirit and idea with a very talented person who's standing and giving you a very honest view into their selves and their creation.
It's just a simple, humble, friendly place that treats you like a complete person who has this gift that they're bringing to us. And the gift is the songs that they bring to our stage that make people happy and fulfilled. And that's a great impact to have. I mean, Lena has been called the Mother Teresa of folk music. And as people used to say, I think a lot of people expected her to be kind of this wild hippie and so forth, and she just wasn't. She was just a really nice Italian lady who treated people really well and an intellectual.